Good afternoon, my name is Randall Rader from Stormwater Drainage, and this afternoon we're going to be going over the basic operation and inspection points of the A61 Menzi Muck. I'm going to be going over the external inspection, a walk around, and here in a little while we'll have Mr. Michael Booker come in and show the basic operation controls of this piece of equipment. Like every other piece of equipment we've went through, we're looking here at our front boom. We're looking at our hoses, we're looking at our fittings and attachments, ensuring that there's no leaks, no apparent damage, looking at the hoses for any excessive dry rot or any bulges or anything of that. Looking at the front piston control, looking at your points of connection, looking at the rod, making sure it's not damaged or bent, looking to make sure there's no leaks around the cylinder itself. I'm also looking now at my bucket and my attachments, making sure all the pins are in place, all cotter pins and locking devices are also in place and engaged. The Menzi Muck also has 4 outrigger stabilizers, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. So what we're looking at is here is obviously our bolts and our pins, ensuring that they're in place. We also have our hydraulic hoses that run up the back side. We're checking those like all other hoses, making sure there's no damage or leaks. And then I'm also going to check my tires like on every other piece of equipment, making sure there's no damage to the tire, no foreign matter, no cuts, excessive dry rot or bulges. And I'm looking at my rims for any cracks, any non-factory welds, any apparent damage. And then I'm coming around the front side, checking my lug nuts and looking at my hub seals, just like on all the other pieces. All right, on the side of the equipment, I'm checking my handles, making sure my handles are firmly attached to the piece of machinery. Also looking at my stair treads, making sure that they're not damaged, there's no oil or debris on there that would prevent safe entry into this vehicle. While I'm here, I can also check my side mirrors, making sure they're attached, looking and making sure the clarity of them and they're not broken in any way. All right, on the back side, one of the things we're checking is all of our lights. Again, we're checking color and clarity, checking for any apparent cracks or damage, checking for internal condensation, which would show that there's a possible leak in the light. Also checking our top lights the same exact way. Moving over, we're gonna open up the rear compartment. All right, in the back engine compartment, basically we're checking our diesel oil fluid. We have a sight glass, checking the hoses, ensuring that they're connected, there's no damage or leaks. Moving over here, internal we have our dipstick, all right, for our oil, so we would pull that so we could check our oil as well. We have the alternator with our belts, so checking the belts themselves to make sure that there's no excessive dry rot, any crack or damage on the belts. Our windshield washer reservoir, checking for proper fluid level, also checking the hoses to make sure they're not leaking. We're also going to give a quick overview here, look through and make sure there's no foreign debris, any trash or any apparent damage to the engine compartment. All right, now as I close the rear compartment, up top I also have my coolant level fill. So of course, when it's operation, you would not want to you would not want to open that under hot conditions. All right, moving over here to what would be the right side of the piece of equipment. You got to pull down your lock to lock it in place. All right, but some of your basic things here, you're checking all your hydraulic cylinders and connections, making sure there's no leaks or damage. Your batteries are located here, so you would check both of those for apparent corrosion. We also have a battery kill switch located here. Looking at our radiator for any apparent damage or any foreign matter or debris that may be lodged in it. And then lastly, we also have a front hydraulic oil tank. We would look at the sight glass for the level as well as the fill port as well.
I'm Michael Booker, and we're going to look at some of the basic controls of the Menzi Muck. All right, now we'll start off with, when you get in the machine, you got to make sure this is your safety. These are safety features that have to be in place. You know, the machine will not operate as long as this is up in the air. Now we also have controls, normal controls, just like every other excavator, which the left one controls the swing and your swing left and right, and then you push it forward, your stick would go out, you pull it back, your stick would come back in. On the right hand side you have another control which controls the boom. You pull it back, the boom comes up, you push it down, the boom goes down. You swing to push it to the right, your bucket opens, and you bring it to the left and your bucket closes. We also have an instrument panel. And on that instrument panel, it's always good to look at that to make sure that your machine doesn't overheat, and that you've got various switches on here that you need to be aware of. And one of them is the steering control, which would be this one here with that little stick on it. And that has 2 positions to it. You put it in the first position, and it will just steer the machine, but you can still move some of the other functions. If you put it all the way in the other position, the only thing you'll be able to do is steer that machine. And to steer your machine, you use the right hand joystick. Now we look down and we also have the foot pedals. With your foot pedals, the left foot pedal is for the extend the boom. You push it forward, your boom goes out. You push it backward, your boom retracts. The middle one is for the travel, machine travel. You always travel with this machine with the big wheels in front of you. That's the forward. Then you push it forward, you go forward, you push it back, you return. This third pedal over here is for attachments. The machine has various attachments, and so especially with storm controls, we'll be using the clamshell, and this bucket here, this pedal here actually operates that feature. Okay. And whatever you do, do not touch this red button, because if you do, the machine will not start, and you will probably not know how to get it started, or even if you call a mechanic, if they're not aware of that button's been touched, it will spend a lot of time trying to get your machine going again. Okay. Now we will be going through some of the basic operations of the Menzi. First, we'll start off with the seat belt. It's always a good chance to put your seat belt on. And we'll start the machine. Push the safety down. And now we'll go through some of the basics. To raise your boom, you pull the right stick right up. To lower, push it down. To open your bucket, the right stick. To close your bucket, pull the right, turn the right stick to the left. To swing your machine, your left joystick goes left. To swing machine right, your left joystick goes right. To push a stick forward, the left joystick goes forward. To bring the stick back to you, you pull the left stick back. As far as extending your boom, the left pedal, you push it forward, your boom extends. To bring it back, you pull it. And the center pedal is for travel. Also on your joysticks, you've got three control buttons. The outer buttons are for your outriggers. The middle controls are for your and the rounded ones are for your wheels. And these controls not only go up and down, but they also go in and out. And we'll demonstrate. And that's your basic operations of the Menzi Muck.
This concludes our basic inspection, walk around, and controls of the A61 Menzi Muck, also known as the ditch walker. Again, this was a basic operation. This is a very elaborate piece of equipment. You just saw some of the basic controls. When operating around this, remember safety is key. And when you're operating this machinery, you have to be obviously aware of everything going on around you. I'd like to thank Mr. Booker for giving us a quick intro on the basic controls. He is the resident expert on this, so for further information, refer to him. Thank you and have a great day.